I really want to welcome the new people on our Spiritual Healing with Mark Ehrlich's page, the community page on Facebook. I'm very grateful that you did want to show up to that and participate in the group. Then the personal page is just Mark Ehrlich's, and you'll see the numbers went down a lot. I deleted a lot of people that were doing a lot of political talk. I don't get into politics. I understand it. I'm familiar with it, but I want to leave this as a spiritual community. And I'm not in opposition or, oh, here's a message from Lynn, and it says, I'm there, so is Kathy. Jean, hey Jean. I don't know which Jean it is though. And Prachi, and there's others too. So welcome, 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 and thank you for being here. But I don't see any comments whatsoever. And though I know that there's many people here, and which is awesome. But in any case, the Mark Ehrlich's page is the plain Facebook Mark Ehrlich. It's private, and I like to keep it like that for various reasons. And same with this Spiritual Healing with Mark Ehrlich's. I want to keep it as a private page. And Patty, yay! I'm getting messages from Lynn, and she's telling me that Patty's here as well. And Diana, yay! I love it, love it, love it. And Sedona, I love it. Great. Thanks so much for being here. I'm not seeing anything in the other page listed on my computer here. So I do work with people on appointments, and I highly recommend that you do take advantage of that. Hey, Jean, how you doing? I'm looking at my watch, which has the messages that Lynn's sending me. This is wild. And so I do work with appointments, and I love working with pain. I don't love you having pain, but I do love working with it. And any kind of body discomforts or aches or chronic situations, disease at times or often, and emotional situations I love to work with as well. Sometimes, as I tell everyone, sometimes I'll see things and I'll express it to you and share it with you. But when I do express it and share it, I'm saying it in a conversational way. And I like to keep it, light, where there's a little bit of a trust factor in there, knowing that I'm not going to share it with anyone else in this world. And that's my nature. I'm a priest, and I do keep confidence. And so that's just the way that I am. And I might be able to see the influences of your loved ones that are here or past, and how they're affecting you, wanting to communicate with you at times. Not all the time, just sometimes. And so it's just the way that I work. And I work through the telephone calls, I work through FaceTime calls, and I work through Zoom. And if you do want an appointment, Lynn will put the information up, and she'll share it with you. Otherwise, if you can't see anything, then go to the website and you'll be able to see the information there. Thanks, Lynn, if you are putting it up and other people can see it. I appreciate that a whole lot. And in this, please do share if there are any questions, and I'll try my darndest to answer them. And if you should write a testimonial, which I really would appreciate, of what it was like before, what's happened since, and it could be really short, without a lot of thinking, please do that. A lot of people have effects from our sessions, if not most, in their knowing in their minds, that they oftentimes forget to write it. And it's maybe 20 years later, 25, even 30 years later, I've heard from people, oh, I forgot to tell you. And and that's happened quite often. And so So please do feel free to share in a short testimony of before and after, what it was like before and what's happened since. And there's also live workshops. We're going to be doing the art of scanning. That's coming up. And so, oh, Diana says, oh, good. And I'll try to get it from my watch. Unless there's another message, then I won't be able to read it. But Diana says, I have something with my brain. I'm not satisfied with the diagnosis. I'm not sure if it's MS or migraine or PNES. Just need some direction, please. What I'd like to do immediately, before we even start the questions, being the gathering as it is, I'm also in the gathering doing, working with healings at times. And if I should see something, I'll let you know. Otherwise, my place is to ask a blessing and to work with you in your body. But please do let me know if there is a change or you sense something happening. And that's all that really matters. It's good for you to express it and to acknowledge it. And it's also good for me to know so that I can know what I'm working with as well when changes do happen. So please do that. And all right, so Diana says, I have something with my brain, not satisfied with the diagnosis, and I'm not sure if it's MS or migraine. All right, what I'd like to do, Diana, is just please, with all your heart and your life, do sit back and just close your eyes for a moment, and then I'll ask you afterwards if you can post something. And I won't be able to see it, but Lynn will. And so, please. Boy, do I feel the spirit moving through my hands. And my message to you is be relieved. However that means to you. It's almost like there was an opening and there was a relief in that opening. It's almost like there was a breath in there. So please do share. I appreciate it. And let me see if I can get the messages here. Are your comments off? No, they're not off. I don't believe so. No, they're not. And the first symbol on the top hand right. What symbol is that? Please tell me, because I don't see any symbols here. So if you can just say, and no, I just don't know. I don't know. The first symbol on the top right. Just trying to help, sorry. And that's from area code 510. I don't know who that is. But please do share with me what symbol that is that I should look for. Because I don't think that my comments are off. I just am not receiving them. Let me see if I can. Nope. Even when I click on comments or that arrow, nothing. Skip. Nope. Comments, I think, are on. I'm not sure. In any case, let's just boogie right on. And if you could tell me what symbol that is, I'd really appreciate that. And I'm going to try, nope, not there either. In any case, let me try expanding this and see if there's anything else. Not that I know of. Not that I know of. Hey, Mariko. Hey, you're in Japan, I think. Um, uh, I hope you're all well. I pray so. And Lynn wrote, I'm having to go to the phone. Um, Diane said, when you said that, I thought about the pressure I was putting on myself, like college or second job, maybe to my doctor's appointment tomorrow. There is a lot of pressure with um, the fear of the unknown. And, I'm telling you, be of good cheer. Be relieved. Know that relief that's there, hon. That's what's really important. All right. So in any case, let's go back to this a little bit, and please do keep me updated. But Diane, please be conscious of the fear and catch yourself being in that fear when you are. Just catch yourself. You don't have to do anything with it. Just catch it each time that you are. You'll see that something happens with it. So that's really important. And that would be your answer, please. Don't be a fear. I'm telling you. And not being a fear, what you can do, and the simpleness of it all, is to catch yourself every single time you are. Just acknowledge it. Don't analyze it. Don't think about it. Don't recreate it. Don't try to put more into it. Just observe it. That's what's important. My pleasure, Diana. My pleasure. And so, all right, good. Excellent. All right, then please do take advantage of the workshop coming up in another week. It's on the art of scanning, and I'll teach you how to get into that world of scanning mentally. And it's an art. Every healer wants to know about this. It's just so important, and it's stuff they don't even know about. So please do take advantage of that. And it's an awesome course that's being offered. It'll be for an hour and a half a day for 4 days, and it'll be equivalent to a full day workshop during that time. And it'll be open as far as, expression and questions and experiential work. And I'll just put everything I have into it, and it's just unique in itself. Do take advantage of that course. It's coming up next week, and Lynn, I believe, is posting or posted the information already. And so please do. Very, very important. All right. Now, also, if you can't attend the workshop and you do purchase it, you'll have special access to it on a private YouTube channel. Lynn always puts it up, and it's only for the people who attended each particular workshop. So do take advantage of that, please. All right. Now, I will be having other mini courses. They'll be coming up, and I think next one is a week and a half. I'm not sure. I don't have my thing with me. And yes, the September 28th is the course. So please do take advantage of that, though. And let's see, is there anything else that I'm missing? All the material that I express on this is of mine. It's nothing that I get from other sources or anything like that. And so, what I do get accepted or rejected, it doesn't matter, or contemplate it. And you'll find a reality to it, and that's what is important. And let's see here. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I want to talk about. So the material that I get, it's my own. It's my own writings. It's my own experiences. It's my own teachings, and from within and from other teachers from many, 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 many years ago. And my understanding of them. Which has gotten me where I am today, wherever that is, I don't know. But it helps me to work with people in a very easy way, and these are the things that I teach. So this gathering here is basically just for the purpose of answering questions and doing some healings. And then we have the healing circle in another week and a half, I believe it is, or 2 weeks, 1 week and a week and a half. And that's strictly for healings and very little about questions and stuff. And if you want me to work with you here, please, do ask. I have no comment section, so everything's going to come through Lynn and her texts, and I don't know how else to do it. Let me see here. If you remember my Facebook page, awesome, of Spiritual Healing with Mark Rolex. And please do sign up for the website at markrolex.com for the newsletter. And you'll see all the events as well listed in that newsletter. So just join us in every way you can, please. And Lynn will put that information up. So let's see. Anyone else that I can work with? I'm getting all these messages and stuff. Thanks, Lynn. I appreciate that. Maybe there's something that I wrote as a post on Spiritual Healing with Mark Rolex Facebook page, and maybe there's something that you don't like about yourself, and necessarily. And right there is literally the causal moment for our constructive or destructiveness within ourselves. And it's, those things, we may not necessarily be conscious of them, or we can be conscious of them, but they're the very things that are like digging at us in some way or another in our lives. But it reflects in what we say to people, in how we express, in what we do with people. It's those very things that literally leak through in our lives that others really do see, but they don't know how to express what they see. So I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it's so ideal if we can begin to recognize those little things that rub us the wrong way, and in how we relate to ourselves, and even the reasons why, and or how we relate to other people. So if we can notice those little things just a little bit, and we can observe it as we notice it without any judgment or guilt or shame or anything rubbing us the wrong way, without any resistance, then what we've done in that moment, just by recognizing it, not working it out or anything else or thinking about it, just by recognizing it, then we just broke the pattern. And it's really that simple. So we have the ability to see these things and to stop them just through recognition, recognizing, by seeing it. And it's a part of our gift of what we can do. Everyone has this. Everyone has the ability to do that. And so that's the choice we have in twinkling of an eye, just through objective observation. Again, without thinking, without analyzing, without critiquing ourselves or other people, just recognizing those little rubs, those little moments where we feel awkward or we feel that something's off. And so it's our power. And that's being creative with what's given to us. And then all of a sudden, we find that that pattern is rearranged in a different way, where people will, in a sense, be attracted to us. So let me see here if there's any messages. Unfortunately, I have to keep going to my phone here. So if you touch your screen, there will appear what looks like a comment box with a null sign in the center. Let me see if I can do this, and I apologize for the delay and all, but this is the pits. I hit I hit the box. I hit it, and nothing happened, unfortunately. And hi, Prachi, it's you. Okay, good, good, good. Uh, Let me see if there's a thing how to do this. No, I don't have that. I don't have that. Actions event logs? Nope. Nope. Not it. My apologies. Okay. In any case, it was a good try. Ah. All right. So we do have the healing circle, as Lynn mentioned, coming up on the 22nd, and the workshop is on the 28th, the art of scanning. Please do take advantage of that. It's just awesome. Totally, totally awesome. And let me get back to all the stuff. Kathy, she wrote on here, Diana said that it sounds like my situation. Yes, you are amazing. Thank you. But it's that divinity within that gives me the information. It's almost like, and I described this not too long ago in either a class or a healing circle or another gathering or something. The information that I get when I see something, it's really like in the head, and maybe you can relate to this as well. In the head, there's like a swirl, like a tornado, but it's not fast. It's a still tornado that's going gently around. But all that is like a screen, and in that screen, images form. And that's how I perceive things. That's how I sometimes see things. Sometimes. And it's another analogy might be in our heads we have in our brain somewhere there's like a blank screen, and the images are in there. Sometimes I'll perceive it that way, and that's how I know things that come to me. So just to share with you, and we all have it, but it's learning to recognize where we can visually in our minds capture a thought that comes to us, not the thought that we think, but the thought that comes to us, and it's learning to differentiate that. And you do that with practice. And I've been practicing this stuff for 47 years. But everyone has the ability to do this so easily. And that's the outcome of it all, to recognize that you can do this, to realize that you can do this very, very easily. And then we're past the difficult part in learning how to do it. And there's no one way, or there's no in 47 years this will happen. It can happen immediately, and a lot of people do experience that to varying degrees. I feel that I'm able to do it more because I practiced more, and it can happen to you overnight. It depended upon how you want to trust it, how you want to believe it. That's be living it. You want to live it before by acknowledging it and accepting it in your life. And so that's just, the world according to Garth Mark in the way that I do things. So let me see here. Kathy, she wrote a question. This is a creating universe, not a created one. This is a creating universe, not a created one. That was by Walter Russell. And her question is this related to God, a God that is growing and so different from ideas I grew up with? How can all that be grow, I guess, or is grow? I totally agree with that in my own interpretation, my own understandings, and my own experience. Yes, this is a created universe, even as science dictates. And there's always more to the story beyond its understandings even. This universe is also filled with form. And yes, this is a creating universe as well. And this is also a self-creating universe. This is also a self-creating universe. This universe is an evolution. The greater mind is, that is. And as so, we too participate in that greater mind and therefore in that evolution. So please do keep that in mind. Within it are also, in a similar evolution and perpetuation, that we're constantly evolving because we're a part of it, we're in it, we're of it. So we too get to participate in that. It's our nature, it's our innate ability and nature to be able to grow in that mind of the divinity. Many years ago, I began to understand that the godliness, the divinity, the creator is always evolving. And so we're like a cell within it, in that mind that is unfathomable, that's non-comprehensible, but we're a cell within it, and we carry a piece of the information in it. And we have, or the totality in that little cell of what's in that big mind. So we have access to this as we let go of ourself in our survivals and our, conscious mind. We have access to that as well, and to tap into that of what's waiting for us to, of what it wants to share with us. So I just totally accept and believe that we're created in its image. And in many various ways, it's our truer nature to be able to find ourselves, which is also a pure form as that cell within the mind of God. I hope that makes sense to some degree. It's as we do find ourselves, we're looking and acknowledging a pure form of ourself as a cell within the mind of that divinity, that godliness, the creator, the nameless one, whatever you want to call it, Yahweh, whatever. And we're a part of it. And we have access to it as we let go of ourselves. I don't know if it was this week or last week that Parachi had mentioned something. A family's friend passed away in a bizarre sequence of events. The husband of 46 years old, who was healthy, had a hearty living in affluent, non-forest region. That doesn't matter. He was bitten by a snake, and he was admitted to the hospital. This was in India, and was COVID negative. And he was recovering from, I guess, the snake bite. And they tested for COVID again, and he was positive 3 times for 3 days. And I don't know about that. And he is no more. That means he passed. He was the father of children, leaving behind and a wife and to a mother with his kids. Mark, if you can offer prayers, sure. If you can offer prayers and blessings for the sudden tragedy, God bless everyone here. And that's from Prache. Yes, I'd be more than happy and glad to offer prayer for his soul and for his family, his wife and children. And I'll do that right now. See, one awesome event that happened from this very tragic event is that uh, it's almost like a kickstart for them in some sense, even though they might have already been, but it's even going into another level of uh, of finding that godliness. Uh, However, that worked in the grand scheme of things, and so, um, and especially with the children, it'll take them into another level, uh, and the wife will be at more at ease. That's all that I know. But at the same time, the children will be, it's almost like a kickstart into another understanding of the divinity, the godliness, and as a result of this. Uh, not saying that he needed to pass for them to have this happen, because the soul will take us into all kinds of scenarios for things to happen. But this was a scenario that was played out for whatever reasons, I don't know. So, and I hope that satisfies an understanding for you, but in a will for the children especially. And so that's what's important. And now, is there anyone else that would like me to work with them? No, I didn't see Sue's question. What keeps us, let me see here, I think she said, Diane said, thank you. Diana said, that sounds like my situation. Yes, it is. And even if you don't recognize, you did acknowledge it, but even if you weren't to acknowledge it later, you would find that out, Diana, that it is the situation. And Diana said, I am up and out of bed now. Yay! Love it. And Sue's, did you answer Sue's question, which was, what keeps us from not going back into a habit? Oh, very easily. You know, we learn to adapt to habits, and these habits become our survivals in life because we become comfortable in as much as they are destructive, and or as mildly or dramatically destructive. And oftentimes we don't even realize how destructive habits are until we get a little glimpse that, oh my God, it's inhibiting me from going forward, or it's stopping me from doing this, or whatever. But it's very easy, and all we have to do to break a habit is to acknowledge it. And if we're acknowledging it, we're not reacting to it. That's the secret. If we're acknowledging a habit, if we get a little glimpse of it and don't run away and squirm away or change the subject, if we acknowledge it, we're taking a look at it. And if we're taking a look at it, we're being objective and observant. That's the key. That's the key. And so then we have the ability to just watch it for a moment and wonder about it. We can even ask ourselves, why do I have this habit? And then if we wait for an answer in that objective, observant state, then we'll actually see the reason why. Or we can actually, a second here, or we even have the ability to look at that habit and see it as, try to imagine, to image it in action, create a form for it. It might be a globule, it might be spiky, it might be squirmy, it might be little snakes, going around in a ball or whatever, who knows. But if we can get it there, and if we can just, say to it, knowing that it sees you and you see the habit in this form, whatever it is. And if we can ask it, what purpose do you serve me? Or how do you serve me? Just ask the habit and wait for an answer. Don't think of an answer. because then you're just planting something else in there. But let it answer you. How do you serve me, Mr. Habit or Miss Habit? And I did that with someone not too long ago because they had a real resistance to doing that. And so I kind of forced the issue with them. And then all of a sudden, I mean, this is a real destructive habit that they had, which I won't tell about. And all of a sudden, they just burst out laughing. And I said, what? And they said, I don't serve you, but you don't know that. And so then they burst out laughing and they no longer had the habit. So we can do these things and with ourselves. That's a great exercise for everyone to do it. And that was a great question. I appreciate that. So we can break these habits if we want to acknowledge them and we see that it is not serving us. We have the ability to break the habit. Jane says, my son Chris has a chronic cough, working, pressure in chest and still a small fluid in his lungs from pleurisy. And remember, please, for spending a lot more time, I am available for appointments if you want to go there. And I think that's really important for anyone. And I get to do a lot more work. These are just like what people used to refer to, and I used to refer to back in the old days, was quickie healings. And so, but they are effective, and or they help to begin to create change in your life, and that's all that matters. All right, so I'm going to work with Chris's lungs here, the pressure and the cough and the fluid from pleurisy. And please do keep me updated over the next immediately or over the next couple days if there isn't a great change. Please do. I know that God comes through all the time. Or sometimes what happens, which is really cool, is that for the first time, and say if someone has something that's bothered them 50 years or 25 years or 5 years or 75 years or whatever, for the first time, either they or medical science will find a solution for it. So it could lead into that as well. But most times it's for things to be rectified within their bodies. But if something's being rectified in your body, it's also being rectified in your emotions and in the mental activity as well. So there's a change of life, as subtle or dramatic as it might be. And it's awesome. It's just awesome. I don't know how each person is going to perceive or react. And I just say, okay, boss, take it over, do what you do, and affect this person in your way according to their needs and their bodies. So here we go. 1 second here. Let me work Chris's lungs a little bit here. And just like you said, I'm experiencing a fluid in there, so it's a real, in some areas, it's really thin layer in a short area. It's real thin area of fluid, and others it's a little bit more tense in fluid. So let's see what we can do. And that's the pleurisy, or the fluid in the lungs. And people may actually, if you have me work with you may actually feel my hands. It's sometimes, not all the time, it's a part of the deal. Or it may be my hands, or it may be the hands of angelics. I don't know. I just know what to do, and I take it from there. And I say, okay, boss, do what you do best. And it takes my hands and I'll put them there. and people can feel on shoulders or the head or things happening through your body, and that's just an effect, of something greater, and that's all that matters to me. All right, so let me see if there's any other questions here, and please do let me know, Jane. And Prashi says, I have 2 weird insect bites. One on my forehand and the other one on my thigh. It's swollen and itchy and hurts, and just have not taken anything yet, but have applied an ointment. Ointments are going to keep it within. You don't want to do that. Most ointments that I know of have the petroleum gel in them, which contains it inside. What I would like to suggest, what I've personally experienced, is something really cool. About many years ago, when I was in Vietnam, I was sometimes walking water paddies where the rice paddies were and stuff like that. And back in the late 60s and early 70s, I was in Vietnam, and in the paddies there, I would develop a corrosive dermatitis in my feet, which crept up, and it was eating away at the tissue and stuff like that. And doctors gave me powders and ointments and all kinds of things, medicated stuff. Nothing can get rid of it. They didn't know what half the diseases were that were there from Vietnam. So when I got back, after having this erosive dermatitis, I mean, it literally ate away at my tissue, and no one could get rid of it. They just discharged me, after my term was up and stuff like that, and my service term was up. And so one day I met another vet, and the vet said, and I was telling him about this erosive dermatitis, and he says, "Oh man, I used to have it too." I said, "Well, what do you mean you used to?" And he said, "Well, I got this. Someone told me," he was saying, "about stuff called Amands powder. I think it's AMMANDS or AMMENDS powder. It comes in a white tube, and it's the original Amands powder. And you can get it at Walgreens. If they don't have it, they can order it for you and get it shipped to you the next day, or you can go pick it up the next day because they carry it into warehouses. Maybe CVS too, or whatever drugstore you go to. Amands powder. And you just apply a little bit at night, and just rub it on wherever that rash is, or itchy thing, and rub it on after you shower in the day. Real thin coat, not a lot. And I said, "Hey, I can get some of this," so I ran out and got it. Within maybe 3 days to 7 days, it was all gone. Blew me away. Since then, I've shared this with people who've had, say, relatives or friends in nursing homes or care facilities that have had bed sores or rashes, but even diaper rash with their kids. And it's gone after a few days. So I highly recommend it twice a day. It's what I recommend from my own experience. And you might find that really interesting, and it'll take away the rash or the irritation for a skin situation like that. I've seen it work with many things personally. So just to share that with you. And I understand how it's a dilemma. Another thing with the bite is putting on a little cortisone cream that you can get over the counter and take the itch away. Whatever brand or form they have over the counter, whatever helps. You might have to apply this several times. That's why it's over the counter. Unless you want to go to a doctor to get something more definite. But and that will help it to heal, though. It will definitely help it to heal, up to my understanding. So that's for the swollen and itchy stuff. And It hurts and I have not taken anything yet, but have applied an ointment. Can we help with the swelling, itch, both on right? So it's the on the forehand and on the thigh. Yes. I just felt a little expansion of it, and that's the resistance of it. So let's see if we can take care of it now. And this is on the hand. There, I felt it like open. And as far as the thigh, there's also a heat there, and the heat to me uh, represents an internal pressure you're going through. So this will this will affect the physiological, to my understanding, uh, and but you have to take a look at an internal pressure that you might be feeling, a hidden. It's hidden, that you don't necessarily want to express. So um, just taking a look at that, and when you look at it, recognize it for what it is. Then that's working it out, and things will begin to get easier with that internal pressure. But and listen to me real carefully here, Prachi. Don't get involved with stuff. And you know what I mean. Because that will create a lot more pressure in your life, and you don't want that. Yes, almonds powder. Yes. And all right, good, good, good. Uh, Gene, right. Gene's the one asking about Chris. Yes, yes. All right, great. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I hope that helps you, Prachi. Prachi also wrote a question. Thoughts create vibration. Ooh, how are we doing here? Thoughts create vibrations, or question mark, or thoughts and vibrations are the same? Question mark. Just curious. Um, my understanding and my experience of life, personally, is oh my goodness to both. Yes, and thoughts do create vibrations. It's really no different than being upset with someone and then preparing a meal. And some of that upsettedness, when other people participate in that meal, won't think that it tastes very tasty. So, they're tasting the vibes, and we can relate to that in many many ways. That's just one way. And when there's joy in the preparations, and a lot of love and giving in that food that's being prepared, you can also taste that, and there might even be compliments for that one. And at times, there's times that it really doesn't apply. It's not applicable for that analogy. Um, I remember one time, um, I wanted. It was I was in the order, and I was in Fort Worth, and uh, I knew it was my day to cook with people that were the regular cooks, but everyone had to take who weren't cooks had to participate in helping them, and so it was like a Saturday, and I wanted fish so bad for lunch, and I knew that I wasn't going to get it. I was going to get something else. So it was my turn to help, and so it was a simple lunch of franks and beans that I soaked them overnight and getting them all ready, and I was getting into it, and I really loved the whole process of soaking beans and and making them for the next morning for that later afternoon lunch. And so I was adding spices, and I was just doing all kinds of neat things, and they were watching me, helping me, and no input by them. They were just telling me what to do, and because I had never cooked before, and this was for about 20 people. And so here I am, so proud of the lunch, and it was getting served, and we asked a blessing on the food, and the teachers, always ate first, took the first bite, I should say, and then I watched him, and he put his fork down that had the beans in it, and he said, "No one eat this." But and I know that I put a lot of love into it. I was so proud of it, and they helped me. All the professionals, they helped me, and so he says, "No one eat this. No one eat this." He stopped everyone from taking a bite, and he says, "We're going out to get, fish sandwiches." And so I got my prayer answered. But here I put a lot of love and stuff into it. But it just it didn't turn out well. Maybe my prayer was to get fish, and that's what initiated everything else to enable that to happen. So, yeah, and I hope that does answer your question about the vibes in the food. So, Christina wrote, so to spark ourselves into a deeper connection, is it just as simple as being curious and asking the question to self? Yes. And sometimes we really have to spark ourselves too, and it's really a drudgery at times. Other times we're so enthusiastic of doing our spiritual work, but at other times it's, no, I'm going to take a break for right now. I'll do it later, or I'll do something else, whatever. And then I'll get back to it, or this is not my time for it. It's always the time for it, and we can always have fun with it. But as we do recognize these times, and as we do take charge of those times that we don't, that we feel it as a drudgery, then we're less like, the rampant puppy that's totally undisciplined. We're learning to discipline ourselves, and it doesn't have to be a drudgery. We can have fun with it. And it's just like with children that are learning to experience and grow into adolescence. They have to learn the ways of the world as well. And our born little self is always learning to adapt and survival in this world. And so, but as we learn to control ourselves, we're less nuts, and the mind is less rampant and going all over the place, like the old analogy of chicken with its head cut off. We're not going like that in life because we're learning, the disciplines of life. We still have a lot of fun, and we have the ability to do that. So, let me see here if there's anything else here. I'm looking at my phone. Yes. Okay. Diana liked, Jean and Diana liked my comments on the story that I told a little bit ago about cooking. So, but they never let me cook again which was really neat. I loved that part too. And no matter where I went in the order, no one ever let me cook. I guess they all heard about it, where I was in the minutes somewhere that went around to all the order. Don't let Mark cook. Don't let Brother Mark cook. All righty. So, what I'd like to do real briefly, because we only have a minute, less than a minute, is to do a really short meditation, if you don't mind. And the meditation is learning how to be simple and wondering what it means to be simple. And if we can just close our eyes for a moment and take a deep, slow motion breath all the way down into our lowest part of our belly, and a slow motion breath slowly out of our mouth. In through your nose and out through the mouth. Slow motion for every breath. What is it like for me to be simple? Wondering. A couple people got it, I felt. The answers we get are so simple, and they'll be shown to us. It's nothing that we're thinking. They're shown to us. And if you can wonder about that throughout your day and tomorrow, just wondering, writing a note to wonder about this in the morning. What is it like to be simple? For me to be simple. And see what comes to you. Well, I really want to thank you, everyone. I'm honored that you're here, and I hope you're feeling better. Please let me know. Write a note, and also, if you can, if it's within your heart to do a donation, go to the website, and please do that. Not only does it support us in continuing to do this, but it also helps people to go to appointments and workshops who can't afford. And we're not to a place yet where we can help people in the world with their finances, but it'll help them to be able to participate in these things. So, thank you so much for being here. I'm honored, and I'm looking forward to it. And don't forget the workshop coming up in a week. Blessings to you. Blessings, blessings, blessings. You too, Patty. Thank you so much, and everyone else. All right. Bye-bye.